children. Good morning to everyone. How are you all? I hope you are all doing good and staying safe at home. How did you all do your midterm exams? I hope you would have done well in your midterm exams. Yes. Today we are going to learn English subject. Do you all remember how many subjects we have completed? How many lessons we have completed? We have completed 2 lessons and 1 poem. Do you remember the name of the lessons? The first lesson is The Little Duckling. And the second lesson is Thank You Friend. And the poem is The Raindrops. That was the memory poem you would have written in your midterm exams. Listen here. Today we are going to moving on to third lesson. A new lesson we are going to learn. Okay. The topic of the lesson is Save Jamuni. What is that? Save Jamuni. Okay. It is a story. So you all like stories, right? We have learnt almost 2 stories. Little Duckling also story and Thank You Friend also story. So now also you are going to listen to one interesting story. You all like stories, right? So listen carefully. In between I will ask you question. Okay, you can recall yourself and you can analyze yourself whether you are able to answer or not. I am not going to listen to your answers, but still you will be able to analyze yourself whether you have listened carefully or not. Okay children? Yes, let's move on to the lesson. Let's move on to the story. Okay? Okay. The topic of the lesson is Save Germany. So look at this. What is this? This is a village, right? We are going to listen to a story about a tree, okay, and about one village. Okay, there was a village. Okay, look at this village. Was a village. There was a village near Panchavati forest. So the village was near to the forest. The name of the forest is Panchavati. Okay, what is the name? Panchavati. So near to that Panchavati forest, this village is located. In that village, there were 2 boys lived in. The name of the 2 boys is Karan and Kareem. Okay, Karan and Kareem lived in that village. In that village, there was a big tree called Jamuni. Okay, there was a big tree called Jamuni. This is the Jamuni tree. Have you seen this fruit in the market? You could have seen this fruit in the market. We call this as Naval Palam. In Tamil, we call this as Naval Palam. So this is the Jamuni tree. These are purple fruits, jamuns in the tree. So this tree is called Jamuni tree. So this Jamuni tree has a big trunk and had lot of branches. It has a thick and strong big trunk and had lots of branches in it. So it was a very big tree. Usually Karan and Kareem love to play under this tree, and it will give fruits once in a year. This tree will give fruits once in a year. On hot summer days, Karan and Kareem love to play under the tree, and sometimes they would take rest under the tree. And look at this picture. What are they doing? They are collecting the jamuns, right? Yes, they collect these jamuns for themselves and for their families and relatives and friends they will give. So usually they collect these jamuns and distribute to their relatives. They would take some time rest under the shade of the tree, and they love to play, and sometimes they would play hide and seek under that tree. And we all know that children would love to climb on that tree. These two boys also, Karan and Karim, always climb on that tree and they sit on that branches and they talk stories, and they love to sit on that tree. And we all know that many birds will come and sit on the trees. The trees are shelter for the uh, birds. And we know one more thing, that birds will take twigs. We have learned what is twig in science. Twig means small sticks from the trees. They collect twigs in their beaks and they take up that twigs in their beaks, and they build nest on that tree. So many of the birds have this tree as a shelter for them. So they love to watch all these birds in the tree. Who? Karan and Karim. Karan and Karim like to watching these birds. And sometimes squirrels. Look at these. The squirrels will play in that tree. So they love to chase each other. So Karan would say always, look at those squirrels. They are chasing each other. Like that, they will be playing under that tree. They love to watch those birds. They love to watch these squirrels. Like that, they will be playing under the tree, and they would play hide and seek also. So once in a year, the tree give purple jamuns. So they collect those jamuns and they eat it. Because of that purple jamuns, they call that tree as jamuni. So what is the meaning of jamun? Purple one. So what is the meaning of jamun? Purple one. Okay, don't forget. Jamuni means purple one. So they gave the name that jamuni tree. One day Karan and Karim was near to that Debo Chacha's tea stall. You could have seen in many villages there will be a tea stall at the entrance of the village, right? Have you visited village? You could have visited. Some of you may not. When you visit village, no, definitely you would have seen a tea stall not in front of, at the entrance of the village. So usually people will go to the tea stall and they will drink tea and they will read newspaper. Like that they will do. So at Debo Chacha's tea stall in this village, okay, at Debo Chacha's tea stall, people were sitting and talking. In that time, one morning, Karan and Karim saw three men were standing at the Debo Chacha's tea stall. Three men were standing, and three men have their axes in their hand. What do you mean by axe? This is what axe. We call this as kodari. What is the use of this axe? We use this axe to cut the trees. We use this axe to cut the trees. So Karan and Karim saw three men were standing at Debo Chacha's tea stall with axes. Okay. So they thought, Karan and Karim were talking, why these strangers are coming to our village? They were thinking in that way. They were asking, these three men were asking to Debo Chacha that, can you tell the way to go to the forest? Can you tell the way to go to the forest? They were asking. Then Debo Chacha replied to that three men and said the way how to go to the forest. Then they went. After that three men left to the forest, Karan asked Karim, what will these men do with the axes? What will these men do with the axes? So like that, Karan asked Karim. Then Karim said, let's go and find out. Okay. Then Karan and Karim followed them and went inside the forest. When they near to the forest, they heard some noise like tuck, 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 like that. They heard some noise. So, what is that noise? They were watching carefully. When they watched, no, they saw three men were cutting down the trees. They got shocked. Then they were shouting, "Stop that! Stop that! Don't cut down the trees!" They were shouting at them. Then the three men, no, they got very angry. "Move away, boys! Don't disturb us. We want to cut down. Go away!" Like that, they shouted at them. Then these boys, no, don't know what to do. Oh, soon these three men will cut down our Germany tree also, because they like the Germany tree so much, right? They love to play under the Germany tree, and they collect purple jamuns once in a year. They love that tree. They don't want to uh, to be cut, that Germany tree to be cut down. So they don't know what to do. Then Karim said, "Let's go to our teacher for seeking the help, for asking for the help." So they plan to go to their teacher. Okay. Then they said, to teacher about the story what happened in the forest. Karan and Karim explained that three men were cutting down the trees in the forest. Then these their teacher, he started to ringing the bell in the school. But it was a holiday. In any school they will ring the bell on holiday? No. Usually when the school is working, we can hear the bell sound. But on holidays we don't hear that sound, right? Like that. On holiday, the teacher started ringing the bell. So the villagers heard the noise of a ringing bell. Then they said to each other, "Why the bell is ringing in the school on a holiday? So we'll go and find out." So the men, all the men in the all the villagers started moving from the village to the school. Then they reached the school. Then they asked to the teacher, "What happened? Why did you ring the bell?" Then the teacher explained what had happened in the forest. And Karan and Karim also explained about the three men cutting down the trees in Panchavati forest. They got very angry. How dare they do that? How dare they cut down the trees in our forest? We'll go and stop that. Then they all moved from there. They all followed these two boys and reached the forest. When they reached the forest, there three men about to cut down the Germany tree. So by seeing that incident, they were shouting. The villagers were shouting, "Stop that! Stop cutting the trees!" They were shouting. Then the three men, they stopped cutting the tree and looked at those villagers. By looking at those villagers, they got scared because so many people were standing. So by looking at many of them, they got scared and put down the axes. Then they ran away from there as fast as they could. So they ran away from there. This is how Karan and Karim saved the Germany tree. And also the villagers the next day onwards, the villagers take turns to guard the trees. To guard the trees means to safeguard the tree. They take turns to be there